Hello, I'm Suzanne Smith. This year, the Florida Book Awards have a new honor for the author who reaches their highest standard for children's literature. It's the Gwen P. Reichart Gold Medal. Author Maihack won this first ever prize for his graphic novel, Cleopatra in Space. It's about the teenage Cleopatra we know from history, but with a very unique twist. Mike, welcome. Thank you for being here.
Oh, thanks for having me.
Okay, Cleopatra in Space is a title that sort of tells you a little bit about what's going on, but give us the basic premise of this story.
Okay, well, like you said, it's a teenage Cleopatra. She's been mysteriously zapped into this other galaxy that's also in the future. It's governed by talking cats, and she's sort of expected to save what's called the Nile Galaxy from this intergalactic threat, and it's kind of where the story sets up.
How did you get the idea for this novel?
Well, the idea of the character Cleopatra in Space just kind of came sort of out of nowhere. I was part of a online drawing group, and at the time we were given like a new subject by the curator of the group every couple of weeks, and we would just draw our interpretation of that character. And it could be like anything like the Incredible Hulk or whatever. And one week was Cleopatra, so I was like, oh, okay. And I think it was like the day before I had to have it done, and it wasn't like a mandatory, you didn't have to draw something, but I was like, I'm going to draw Cleopatra in space, and I drew her with a space suit and the helmet, and I even had the title Cleopatra in Space with lots of A's, and then I had a floating cat there, Kensu, the space kitty, and it looked like sort of a comic book cover, mock comic cover. It wasn't, I guess that was sort of the idea, and everyone was like, this needs to be a comic. You need to do something with this. And I was like, I should do something with this. But at the time, I didn't really have any idea. So
it started as sort of something online. You did do some of the comic elements of it.
Eventually
online.
I did. I started off as just I started writing the story online, and just started making it up pretty much as I went along. In my head, I was thinking of it like a Buck Rogers sort of galaxy adventure. And she's in space. She's shooting ray guns, and she's on a mission to get out of a spaceship. I don't know exactly what yet. And then about 20 pages in or so, I started thinking, well, where is this going? And I started to really think about it. I was like, where'd she come from? Why is she there? In my head, it was always the actual Cleopatra, even though I think I revealed it once in the comic. Everyone's like, whoa, it's actually the real Cleopatra. I was like, yeah, of course it is. Why? Who else would it be? So that's I started kind of thinking about fleshing it, then this whole sort of world opened up, and it was actually kind of pretty easy to kind of start off with a novel series because I had so many ideas ready to go.
Because she's a historical figure, how much background research did you have to go to sort of set her up so that you know what her life was like and how you could change it in space?
Yeah, well, when I started the comic, I just kind of started without much research at all, and then once I started thinking about her story, I did a lot of internet research, and actually I did pick up a few books here and there to kind of flip through for historical imagery and references and things like that. But I would say, I want her to do this. What in her life would fit this? And I'd find some research on that. And there's so much information online about Cleopatra from different websites and different points of view. That was the only. It was like, did Cleopatra do this? Did Cleopatra do this? Nobody's 100% sure about anything, which made it pretty great because I could be pretty flexible with how I could interpret it, and plus, I mean, it's a sci-fi fictional story, so I could kind of put my own little spin on it too. But the most important thing was just try to keep the character of Cleopatra, what she might have been like, but kind of put that into the character that I'm writing. So.
What do you want children to identify with this character? What part of her do you see them identifying with the most?
I think she's the type of character that she's not afraid to really speak her mind and just do what she feels is necessary and what she feels is right. And I think at first, when the story starts off, it gets into her a little trouble because she's almost too much of that, and she's not a very good student at first. She's more into other things. She's more into
she does not like algebra, that's for sure.
She does not like algebra. She doesn't like any sort of class that involves reading or learning. She's more into combat and things like that. And there will be a shift there eventually because, to be a queen, which we all know she's destined to be, she's got to have some sort of, some knowledge there to use. But I hope they walk away with like this strong female character that they can sort of, I wouldn't say identify with, because she's Cleopatra and stuff, but someone they can kind of look up to and say like, this is somebody very cool, and I could be cool.
Well, you definitely have a science fiction future planned for her. This is going to be the first of several books on this. Where do you kind of see her journey going, without spoilers?
Without spoilers. Well, she's going to. Well, the first story arc is going to take place over 3 books.
And the first one is this first book called Target Practice.
Target Practice, where she's at the school and she's kind of learning that she has this destiny that she has to fulfill, and her arcs sort of be this acceptance of this destiny and what it means to be a leader of people, and that weight on your shoulders, and also that maybe you can't accept that responsibility on your own, that you're going to need friends and other people to help you along that journey. And that's kind of her path. That's her character path that we're going to see throughout the books. And it's going to be most evident within those first 3 books. And there's going to be things that are going to kind of backtrack that and then push it forward, and until it gets to the point where hopefully she saves the galaxy. But
hopefully.
Maybe she doesn't. I don't know. I guess we'll find out. Yeah.
Well, there's some serious topics in there, but there's also a lot of humor in this book. How important is you to add the humor to the story?
Oh, well, it has to be funny because, well, for one thing, I'm a big fan of all sorts of television and movies and things like that. And if there's not enough humor in it, if it's just too serious, I get bored very quickly. And even if it's well done, and there's some stuff out there that's really it's good, but the humor is really what keeps my interest. And even to write, it's just so much fun to write stuff that's funny. You start writing this moment, and you're like, it'd be funny if this sort of exchange happened. Well, let's just write it in there because that's funny, So yeah, it's very important, I think. Yeah.
You're the first recipient of the Florida Book Award's Gwen Reichart Gold Medal Award. What's it mean for you to be the first one that they've given this award to?
Well, it's a big honor. Yeah, I wasn't even aware that I was the first, so that was kind of a shock. I was like, wow, okay. I think it's very cool to see graphic novels represented as even being the first. I think, especially, well, at least in America, comics in general have sort of had to really sludge up, up the ranks to try to get some respect. And now there's one just won like, I blanked on the award, but like, they're starting to get a lot of respect and stuff. So. I think that's pretty cool. So I'm actually kind of glad. I mean, I'm personally, I'm very honored, but I'm also like really happy to see it like a graphic novel, and I think that's very cool. Yeah.
What are you working on now? Are you still working on the next Cleopatra in Space, or are you working on something else?
I'm working on the 3rd Cleopatra in Space book.
Okay.
Yeah. The second book comes out in April, and then
April 2015.
April 2015, and then I'm currently like on the last chapter drawing the 3rd book, so it's pretty far along. Yeah, when one book comes out, I'm almost done with the other one, so I'm always moving ahead. Yeah.
The second book, what is it titled?
The Thief and the Sword.
Okay, so yeah. Cleopatra in Space, The Thief and the Sword. That'll be something to look forward to coming up next.
Yes.
The Florida Book Awards are presented annually to recognize, honor, and celebrate the best Florida literature. The program is coordinated by the Florida State University Libraries and co-sponsored by these groups that promote books by and for all Floridians.